Hello everyone, welcome to Women's Gender and Sexuality Studies 1110. It's just a little video I'm making up to show you the basics of our Carmen course and introduce you to our virtual classroom. So if you see here, we're on the front page of our course, which you've probably already seen. And what I'll be using is the news section. I actually put a lot of things in the news section, little heads up notices or maybe a news story. So it's a good idea to hit this page first when you enter our Carmen course. The other thing that's up here is all the important links. I haven't quite finished this, and if you have any other links you'd like put in there, I'm happy to do that. And also there's our calendar. And our calendar looks absolutely terrifying. If you used Carmen before, you already have noticed that it's a radically different form of Carmen, and I have had a harassing summer trying to get my course into this new Carmen shell. So if you see any mistakes, please let me know. I know there must be mistakes. This calendar looks like, like this is the course that has the most work of any course you've ever taken, but don't let the calendar fool you. It's just letting you know what things have opened, like what lecture is open. It's not as bad as it looks. So we have our panel up here is much like it was before. It's not red and everything, but yeah, it'll do. Let's go to the content. So here we are. We have the course overview, and that's where I'm going to put this video. Bookmarks, upcoming events, just in the old, like in the old Carmen. And then we have the table of contents, which looks a little bit intimidating. There's the introduction to the course, which looks like there's a lot, but it's really not that lot. There's just a little welcome message from me. There's a sign-up sheet for orientation, because we will get together for our virtual classroom orientation. Instead of having a class on the first day of term, we'll have an orientation. I'll talk about that later. The weekly topics are just assignments that you'll find useful. And then I have the syllabus. And basically, the syllabus tells you all about the course. And you can read up on that. And then for people who have questions that weren't answered by the syllabus, it's all here. So this is just an expansion of the syllabus. So it's not so much reading as it really looks. There are two things that we should talk about in the syllabus. The first is participation. You're probably wondering what all this business is about a virtual classroom. Well, if you saw the video on the front page, we have a virtual classroom in the virtual world Second Life. We sit in a circle, we discuss the work, sometimes we go on field trips. It's actually a really pleasant way to get through the coursework. It's also, I find, that people who come to class and actually participate and get to know the other students do much better in the course than those who don't. So I highly recommend coming to class. However, not everybody can come to class. I understand that completely. So if you cannot attend twice weekly at 7 o'clock on 7:30, on Tuesday and Thursdays, then you can keep a blog. And here are the instructions on how to do a blog. You'll be doing 2 blog posts a week instead of attending class. So the blog post is in your avatar name. Don't forget that, because we don't put personal information on the internet, but you'll use your avatar name to keep your blog. And I have a blog, and here's the address, and I kind of talk with everybody else who's blogging, and I give you advice on how to set up your blog and things on my blog page, so check that. But at the bottom of this page is also a rubric that lets you know how I grade blog posts. So that's participation. You will either attend class or you will keep a blog for 20%. And then the other thing was the presentations or essay, which is pretty simple. The presentation is a piece of cake, really. You have 10 slides to fill in. They can all be pictures as far as I care. You're going to talk about a topic. You have 10 slides, 10 words per slide, maximum. And You will go to the blogs. People keep blogs and see what they had to say. And you'll go and take a bit of text from one of the readings or a quote from the film that we're looking at. And you'll put that all together into a little PowerPoint presentation and send it to me. And then I'll have it set up for you in Second Life. And all you have to do is press a button and talk to your classmates. It works out really well. It's very smoothly worked into class. So I really like these. They're very good conversation starters. So that's if you are a Second Life student. If you are not a Second Life student, instead of the 2 mini presentations, you will do an essay. Now that essay can be developed from one of your blog topics. So really your blog topic is already a page, right? So it's already a page of your final paper. So you can develop one of your topics. You don't have to, but most people decide to develop a blog topic into their final essay. So presentation or essay, that's another 15% of your mark. Other things in here are pretty standard. There are quizzes. You've taken those quizzes before, Carmen quizzes. There's a media assignment, which is really just a rehearsal for the midterm, because I have found that people who take the midterm are sometimes surprised or intimidated by it. So we do this little 5% exercise. You have a week to complete it, and that kind of lets you know what's up for you on the midterm. And the midterm is a take-home exam. You have 24 hours to complete it. The final is a regular old pen and pencil, pen and paper exam that we take at OSU. If you can't make it, we can set you up with a proctor. I've never had a problem with this. Sometimes proctors will charge. So far I have never had a proctor that charged, but it's up to you to find your proctor is the only problem. And try to do it in good time so I can get everything set up. And the last thing is the field trips. Field trips is the most beloved part of the course. Everyone seems to love these a lot. We go to places of interest on the internet, and you write it up, basically. I have a lot in this class of nursing students, medical professionals, and we actually do a lot. I do have special trips for them if they're interested in doing that. There are hospitals and teaching centers in Second Life, really quite a number of them. So if you're interested in that, let me know. But even as it is, I keep my eye out for medical things because I have so many nurses in this class. So that's, that's kind of the requirements for the course. The resources, that's pretty simple. There's a checklist for bloggers just in case they forget what they're supposed to be doing. I have a little checklist in there. There's a slideshow to let you know what to expect in orientation. So try to have a look at that before you come to your orientation session. That's just a sign-up sheet. And this is a really helpful thing I worked up this term. I quite like it. It just gives you all sorts of research tips that you will use for the media assignment and the midterm. So go to this page when you're trying to get ready for the midterm and the media assignment. So back to the table of contents. Now the lectures page is the big page. This is the page you will be going on nightly, because I have a lecture page for each night's work. And there's usually a little reading or a little video or something on there, a little bit of advice, teacherly advice from me on the lecture page. It's always, you hit the lecture page first before coming to class. The lecture page also has links to the readings, but Carmen is making an old woman out of me. Carmen does things to my web pages, so sometimes I will link things in my lectures and Carmen will mess up the link. It is not me, it is Carmen. So what I have done is, instead of just having the readings linked in the lectures, I have them down here. And all the readings for this class are in this course. You don't have to buy a book at all. They're all in there, and let me know if there's any problems with them. I think they're all fairly well formatted. You can print them off if you want, or you can just read them in the course. So let's go to lectures. And I don't like the way this is set up, but hey, I can't help that. At the top of lectures is the course outline. So it tells you in brief everything we're going to be doing over the term. And underneath it is the link. We're going to see 3 movies over the term. And when we see a movie, you don't have to come to class. That's always good. Um, and the links to finding those films is there. And then the course is set up by weeks. I've only got 3 weeks up there so far. And you have quizzes in there and tutorials. And there's my first lecture. What have I got in there? I can't remember. Hello, hello, read me. This is just a bunch of my reading. My lectures actually look a lot better than this usually. And there's a little video on there to watch. And it just lets you know a little bit about our course, this is a really interesting course. I think you're going to like it. So hit the lectures. Always read the lectures before coming to class. Do the readings, come to class. And of course we have a quiz. We have a quiz every week, and the quizzes are like a piece of cake. The quizzes are just on the information in the reading. They don't ask you any interpretative questions. They just say, did she say this or did he say that? It's just to make sure you understood the readings so that when you come to class, you've got a kind of a base to build on. And the nice thing about the quizzes is you can take them 3 times. So, it's pretty easy to get an A on the quizzes. So I have the quizzes. I should have shown you that. The quizzes. Okay, I think that's all I have to tell you about our course. There's the content, the activities. This is where your Dropbox is now. Quizzes are down there. It's a little bit different than the old Carmen, but it works. Discussions. I don't use discussions, but if you want me to set up a discussion like a study group or whatever you want, just shoot me an email and I'll do it. It just takes me a minute. The glossary is a little thing that I made up for this course. I really quite like it because it's got pictures. I love pictures. And it's got all sorts of stuff. Anytime somebody asks me a question, I put it in here. So don't use this as a study sheet. It's not a study sheet because some of the words in here we'll never come up with, will never be on the exam. But still, it's kind of a handy tool, to go over and look at whenever you come across these words. We have the class groups, attendance, groups, email, and then the grades. Oh, that's a headache. I still haven't worked out the grades, so it may look a little wonky when you come in. And then they have a link to our library, which is kind of handy. So the thing to remember is that on the front page, that's where I'm going to put all the important links. That's where all our user links are going to be. And I can't think of anything else to say except I'm really looking forward to meeting you.